And for more, we're joined by Jessie Jane Duff, a retired Marine gunnery sergeant and a member of the Trump Advisory Board, Women for Trump. Thank you so much for joining us. The president willing to talk to Iran with no preconditions. He said that before. He fired John Bolton. Now reports say that Trump is even considering the French plan to offer Iran $15 billion if they do comply with the JCPOA. Do you think that all of this is the right message to send to Iran now, especially when the State Department claims that the maximum pressure campaign is working?
I don't think that he's going to necessarily comply with anything Iran wants. He's just essentially telling the American people and the rest of the world he's willing to talk. I think that's a very fair statement by this president, because when we have shut down these leaders in the past, where has it gotten us? Under the Obama administration, our situation escalated. Under the Bush administration, situations escalated, and the Clinton administration. We have gotten nowhere by having zero talks with some of these leaders that we do not necessarily like. They're bad people. They are essentially a threat to the United States. But when you have a threat that's banging on your back door, such as this, wouldn't we want to at least be open to some form of negotiations? I think that's essentially what the president is saying. Doesn't mean he's going to back down, or doesn't mean that he's going to suddenly give Iran anything it wants. And let's never forget, the president is very, very committed to the protection of Israel. He has not forgotten that Iran has said that it wants to take Israel off the face of the earth.
Theoretically speaking, Jessie Jane, what could such a meeting on the sidelines of the UNGA between Trump and Rouhani look like if it does take place? Do you think it will be along the lines of the summit with Kim Jong-un, let's say, handshakes and smiles to the cameras, or would it be something more discreet, a discreet encounter that we'll only maybe hear about after it's concluded?
Well, I think Iran is in a position where it has to come to the table, because the sanctions against Iran have really stifled them. We're looking at people that are in their own country that are now questioning, or have been questioning, what this regime's real motives are. They know that the wealth of that country has been squandered off into the Iranian Revolutionary Guard and into terrorism activity throughout the world. The people themselves of Iran have lived under a democracy not that long ago. Many of us saw this in our lifetime, where Iran was not the face of what it is today. So my thoughts would be that we would not see something like we did with Kim Jong-un, because it didn't start off necessarily just like that. Kim Jong-un and the president had swatted a few barbs at each other. We saw that on Twitter. We saw that they were very aggressive towards each other initially, and it took some time before there were handshakes and smiles. So that's not going to happen immediately. I think if it were to progress to that level, we should be able to say we've made some progress at some point, because we don't need Iran becoming a threat again to the United States, as it already currently is, and we need to ensure that we squash their enabling terrorist organizations throughout the world that include those that are a threat to Israel.
Interesting that you just mentioned that. We've been talking about the proxy wars and Iran's proxies throughout the region. Prime Minister Netanyahu said the only answer right now is pressure, pressure, and more pressure. Do you think that Netanyahu and President Trump are still on the same page? Do you think that the JCPOA, or a nuclear deal, takes precedence over Israeli security?
Well, not being in the room with the two of them at any given time, I can't necessarily suggest what they are coordinating together. This could be essentially also a presentation to the world of good cop, bad cop, maybe also a presentation so that they have options. But I am very confident, without any shadow of a doubt, that President Trump is going to work with Benjamin Netanyahu every step of the way, because it's his country, Israel, that is right there in the back door of Iran and is within immediate striking distance of any attack made by Iran.
Jessie Jane, thank you for joining us.